Hi everyone, my name is Noeline Matinde, and today I've actually come to talk about my pregnancy experience. There is someone who has been asking me that, Noeline, your experience need to be shared out there. It can help someone, it can encourage someone, and today that's what I've come to do. Yeah, I don't know where to start from, but what I remember, the first 2 months I didn't know I was pregnant, because that was the time I'd gotten a contract that was outside my usual work, and I'd gone for the field that was those ends of Mbarara, Kasese. So we used to have a lot of work, and we used to work from morning to evening. At times we'd fail to get time to eat. At times I would feel weak. I would feel my body is weak, it's not normal, but in my mind I was like, no, maybe I'm weak because I'm overworking myself. I need to get some time and rest. So I didn't care a lot about it. I didn't pay attention. But I remember when I came back, that was after, because the field work took 1 month. Yeah, we were there for 1 month. We continued working, and I came back to my normal job, and I started working for like a month. When I'd gotten out of the field, we sat down with my hubby. Then I was like, but I think I'm not normal. Something could not be right with me. And he agreed. Was like, yeah, I think we need to go see a doctor. We need to go do a checkup. And we talked about it. We discussed it in a casual way, and we didn't go immediately. So we took some time. After like 2 weeks, I called my daughter. Yes, a daughter to my sister. I don't know how they call her. I called her and explained. Then she was like, no, Noeline, you know what? You need to go do a checkup. You could be pregnant. When I heard about that, and then I was like, oh, if I'm pregnant, this is going to happen to me. You know those things they talk about, like you have morning sickness, general body weakness, you'll be vomiting, headache. So I thought about all that. I was like, no, I better wait. I don't want to confirm now. I better enjoy my life before those things come to me. And then after like 2 weeks, then I was like, no, let me go check. If I find out it's true, we'll get away. We'll find out what to do. So after 2 weeks, it was one evening, we were actually from work. Then I told my hubby, you know what? I think you can pass via some clinic and do a checkup. So we agreed, we went. When we went for the checkup, they took the samples. Then they told us to wait. We waited. Then after, the doctor came with the results. And the doctor was like, I have the good news and the bad news. So I don't know. What can I tell you first? We were like, no, it's better you first tell us the what? The good news, then the bad news will come later. Then he was like, okay, the good news is the results are positive. Like, okay. Then the bad news, would not have power, so it's not possible for us to give you a printed copy. We're like, okay, a printed copy, we'll come pick it, because this is where we always pass. He gave us the results. We were not excited. We didn't know what to do. We just stood up. Actually, he asked whether we could take the results, the written one, or wait for the printed copy. Then we told him, no, we'll come for a printed copy. It's okay, we'll take them together. Yeah, we'll take them together. We'll take a printed copy. So we just moved out. We went, sat on our bike, and continued the journey. Then along the way, we're like, come on. I think we had gone for a test. Yes, I remember telling my husband, I think we had gone for a test. Then I was like, yeah, we had gone for a test. Then we're like, oh, what were the results? Then everyone was like, oh, we didn't know the results. Then we started remembering what the doctor had told us. The doctor had said positive. Then we were like, what is the meaning of positive? And it's fun. I couldn't connect immediately, but Maha be connected immediately. Was like, okay, when they say positive, that means you're pregnant. I'm like, oh, you mean I'm pregnant? It was so funny. You mean I'm pregnant? Like, oh, so what should we do? Who should we tell? We started asking those questions. What should we do? Who should we tell? Like, no, I think we need to celebrate. Then we're like, how are we going to celebrate? Then I was like, maybe we can eat some chicken. But remember, we had food at home already. Then I was like, we can eat some chicken. Then we're like, no, let us first go home. We settle down and see what to do. Then we drove and reached home. When we reached home, we're like, who is that person we can talk to first? Me, I freezed. In my mind, I was thinking about the negativities that come along. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to start waking up when I'm so weak, those morning sicknesses. I'm going to be vomiting all the time. I will not be myself. I will not put on my clothes. That is what I was thinking about. And my husband was like, let me share. He shared with Bishop. I think Bishop and our best man and matron were the first people who got to know that news. He shared. And for Bishop, he sent a message. Then for our best man and matron, we have that WhatsApp group, but it's not always active. It becomes active for some time. Maybe if there is something that has triggered, that is when we put there and everyone comes on board. So he just put that text. Was like, we are expecting. Then everyone came out. They were like, tell us what is happening. How did you test? How did you come to know? And Bishop was like, you tell me what is the sex of the baby. And that one we had not we had not known because we didn't even ask. Then the best man and matron were like, okay, tell us, you guys. What did they tell you? We were like, they didn't tell us anything. They were like, no, why? You were supposed to explain. They're like, yes, that is what we were expecting, but they just gave us the results. We didn't know what to do. Then we were like, why didn't you ask? We said we couldn't ask because we didn't know what to ask. So they were like, okay, now the journey has started. Then after that, I think we shared with a few family members. Then they started. So in my mind, I was like, anytime I'm going to fall sick, anytime this is going to happen. All the things they talk about that happen to pregnant people. And we waited on things were not coming. I remember it was December 6th, I think it was 6th December. So I talked to my husband. I was like, you know what? Let us go to the hospital. We see what they have to tell us. We had planned to do the antenatal from. We went there. They did all the tests. They were asking me questions. Do you feel this? No. They were asking me about the morning sickness. I will tell them, no, I don't feel those things. They were asking, do you vomit? No. Do you feel this? No. Do you feel this? No. Then in my head, I was like, am I normal? Is the baby safe? Why are they asking me all these questions? Things that happen to people but are not happening to me. But I waited, and then after I asked the doctor, I was like, but am I normal? Is this normal? Then the doctor was like, yeah, it happens. Some women don't get those effects like vomiting, morning sickness. Then I was like, okay. We went back home. It continued like that. I waited. Like they'll tell me in the first trimester, this is what you expect. You're supposed to rest. You're supposed to not to overwork your body. But that is something we didn't know. Remember that the first trimester I was in the field. I didn't know. And towards the end of it, I was home. I was working normal and everything was normal. So waited for the second one. They told me, see, this and this is going to happen. Just now I would anxiously wait to see what will happen and how to manage. Like I saw it, I was like, oh my God, if I start vomiting, I don't know what I'll do because I don't know. So I would pray to God. I was like, God, just help me. This shouldn't happen to me. And my matron would crack jokes and be like, no, Ellen, you're not craving for things. And yet I'm someone who can crave for things even way before I'd gotten married. Then she was like, you mean you're not craving? I was like, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm normal. Then she'd be like, but are you really pregnant? I would also wonder because the things I expected didn't happen. So we waited. and the stomach started growing. I started changing the tight clothes that I was putting on. My pants I would no longer put on my jeans because they are not fitting. But it didn't grow all that big. Yeah, it was manageable. Just no, I didn't buy these big clothes, the maternity. No, those ones I didn't buy. I would still put on my normal clothes. I would still work. Yeah, I'll wake up the normal time. That was in the morning. Because I work with a school, I'm expected to be in office very early. So I would come very early, go back home. The normal time would go back home. I would minister, and something I really want to thank God for was ministry, because that is something I prayed for. I said, God, if I ever get pregnant, I want to minister throughout. I don't want to miss. And that one, God did it for you and for me. Yes, He did it for me, and I'm so grateful. We waited. When it was 8 months, my niece called me. I was like, no, Lynn, you're 8 months. Just know you should be expecting anytime. So people started calling me, telling me stuff to do. You're supposed to exercise. You're supposed to eat this. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this. This is not what you're supposed to do. A lot. And I was like, oh God, just help me. Help me digest everything they're telling me so that I'll be able to get a right thing out of it at the end. I waited because she told me first pregnancy, they don't reach 9 months. So at 8, I started expecting. I was like, anytime it comes. Then she would call me. She's like, no, Lynn, have you packed stuff? No, Lynn, you're supposed to have this. No, Lynn, you're supposed to have this. No, Lynn, you're supposed to have this. I'm so grateful. People helped me, by the way. I didn't know anything. I didn't know. I had an idea about a few things, but the details one I didn't know. So they would tell me everything. You need to have this, you need to have this, you need to have this. And I packed and waited, you guys. I waited. When I went for antenatal after that month, when I was to the doctor, I was like, no, but they told me the first pregnancy you produce at 8 months. How comes I'm not? Yet it's now coming to 9 months. Then the doctor was like, no, sometimes it happens for some people. They don't. And I was like, okay. Then he told me to wait. I waited for 9 months. It was so hard. Not hard that I was falling sick, maybe I was weak or what. Some I was disappointed. I was like, these things. And in my head, there is a date I had planned. I was like, this is the date. Giving yourself a date that you love. That date passed, then I was like, let me wait. Whatever the God brings, He has a good thing. He has a reason for anything that happens. So I waited, and when it clocked 9 months, there was no sign. And the doctors gave me the appointment to go. That was after 1 week. They told me if you clock 9 months and there is no sign, we'll just give you an allowance of 1 week. They gave me that allowance of 1 week. I waited for 1 week. Oh my goodness, you guys. In that week, just now, I started feeling the pain. That was Wednesday night. And actually, I didn't tell my husband. I waited till morning. That is when I told him. I was like, I was feeling pain throughout the night. So we went to the hospital for the checkup. I went for the checkup. When we reached there, they told me it was fourth labor pain. You guys, I was disappointed in that word. The word the pain was, they was feeling pain, and someone is telling me it is fourth labor. I was like, I've never heard about this. How comes no one has ever told me about this? Actually, immediately I called some of my friends. I was like, no, you didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me this. Then they were like, no, we are sorry, we didn't know. We forgot to tell you that, but it happens. What? So I said, okay, if this happens, let me wait. I waited. Just know during the day I would be okay, but at night, Thursday, the same thing, the pain would increase. But remember, they told me it was false labor. So I was like, okay, let me wait. But if this is false, I don't know if the real ones come, how they will be. Because just know the pain was too much for me, and they were telling me that is false labor. So I waited Thursday, the same thing. Actually, I didn't sleep on Wednesday. Thursday I didn't. Friday I didn't. Saturday the same thing. And Sunday morning, that is the day they had given me to go back. So I went. Sunday morning, as I checked, they did everything. They told me to wait. Yeah, I waited from the hospital, and Monday evening, it was coming to evening. That is when I gave birth. To a handsome, baby boy. Yeah, the baby is Jadriel Moes Martin Day. Yeah, basically that's a summary of my pregnancy experience. Somehow, some people are disappointed as I was disappointed because the negative thing I didn't get to know. So I'll not tell you, what, when you vomit, this is how you can manage. When this happens, this is how you can manage. But all is good, God has a plan for everything. Yeah. And my friend was telling me that every pregnancy has its own experience. They are never the same. So for my case, that was an experience, and I want to thank God. Yeah, the baby came out safe. I came out safe. It was a C-section, but I thank God. I came out well, and we are doing fine. So we thank God. Yeah, and look forward for more. Thank you so much for listening and watching. May God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe and like.